When it comes to your ability to relocate in a child custody case, there are a couple of things that I think it's important to know. In Virginia, where I practice, we have standards just like most every state does. And I think it's always a good idea to check in with an attorney in your state to get an idea of what the exact rules are in your state. But it won't do you wrong to consider the way we do it here. So in Virginia, custody determinations are based on the best interest of the child. So if it's your first time in court, that's how the judge is going to look at this. If there's a request to relocate, what is in the child's best interest? But on a second time in, so on a modification rather than an initial determination of custody and visitation, the court is going to add an extra factor, and that is the independent benefit to the child. So we're not talking about the benefit here to mom or to dad of the move. We're not talking about, well, it's where my support network is, it's where my free babysitting is, it's where I've got a better job and more economic opportunities, it's where I'm able to keep a roof over the child's head. No, we're looking at the independent benefit to the child, and those things that I listed before, those sound mostly like benefits to the parent to me, right? Especially if you have, for example, another parent who could keep a roof over their head. So, I would not go there at all. But I think it's important to look at this from only the angle of the benefit to the child. So say, for example, your child has a specific medical condition or a special need, and moving would give you access to a hospital or to a school that has a program for a kid like yours or a kid in that condition. And that's something that I would consider and something that I would mention to the court when I was talking about my plan for relocation. I would also want to make sure that my plan included in detail how I intended to foster an ongoing and developing relationship between my child and her other parent, because that's going to be relevant too. The court wants to see that, if we're going to grant this relocation, if we're going to send this child away from dad or from her other parent, how is this going to benefit the child, and how are we going to ensure that this important relationship is prioritized in the child's life? And the one who should be leading that charge is you, the one who is asking for the relocation, not him. It's not on him to decide to represent to the court how he's going to make this easier for you, but how are you going to make this easier for dad and for the child to have this relationship? And in some cases, I see this meaning that the child gets to spend every holiday or the majority of the summer vacation with her other parent. And so some of the options might not be as palatable to you. So as you're asking yourself about relocation, and as you're thinking through the alternatives, and as you're wondering, what kind of options you have, consider too whether this is something really worth pursuing. Is this going to make your life better? Is it going to make it worse? And what about the impact on the child? Of course, the primary concern should always be the impact on the child, but you have to think logistically, how is this going to work? How am I going to foster it? So we're looking at, in most cases, in most states, even if they don't articulate these exact factors or use these same words, they're still going to want to see that we're looking at the best interest of the child, that we're considering the independent benefit of the child and the way that this is going to impact their relationship with their other parent, and also that we're considering logistically what it's going to look like, and we're including a plan for how to prioritize the child's ongoing relationship with both parents. So in a nutshell, that's relocation. And if it's something that you're considering, then good luck. I hope you get what you want, and I hope it works out perfectly.